Alright, hi everyone, welcome back to another video of Salesforce Makes Sense. This is Himanshu and we are continuing our Lightning Web Components masterclass. In the previous tutorial, we just understood how to get started and what is our prerequisite, which is basically nothing but setting up Visual Studio Code. Right? A good way to check whether your Salesforce CLI is successfully installed in your VS Code is basically if you go to VS Code here and you open the terminal. So how do you open the terminal? You can actually just close this a bit. I'll just zoom out a bit, just one. And if I click on terminal and I say new terminal, this opens up the terminal. Okay. If you're using a Windows machine, it might look a bit different, but again, pretty much same, nothing different. Okay. Not much difference, but pretty much same. You can simply type sfdx here, and if you get this result that you have a Salesforce CLI of a specific version which is tied to a set of topics that that are available with you with a set of commands, you're good to get started. That's one way to quickly check whether your VS Code is Salesforce compatible or not. Okay, that's one thing. The other thing is you can simply do Control-Shift-P in a Windows and Command-Shift-P on a MacBook. So when you do that and you type sfdx, you should be able to see a lot of commands available for you. Okay, if you are able to see these commands, meaning you are good to get started and you are connected to an org, you can go ahead and start writing code. Okay, if you don't see any one of these, there might be a problem with the setup you have done. Okay, and what do you need to do? You actually need to start by creating a project. Let me go ahead and try doing it with you. So I'm going to say create project sfdx create project. So there should be three options, right? I'm going to say create project with manifest. I'm going to say standard, and you can give it a name, LWC masterclass. Okay, this name is basically going to appear here. Sorry, this name is not going to appear here. This name is basically going to appear here. This is the folder name that you're giving. Okay, so if I go ahead and do that again, LWC masterclass, right? And this will ask you where do you want to put your folder. So I'm going to say Apex use cases, and I'm going to say, let's say SF repos, and I'm going to create a new folder and I'm going to say LWC masterclass. All right, create, and I'm going to just keep clicked on it and I'll say create project. So as soon as I do that, it prompts me that do you trust this particular thing? I'll say yes, I trust, and this folder is now available. LWC masterclass, it has the force app section, main, default, and everything inside it, including LWC, Apex classes is now available. It is all empty because we have not really done any kind of work yet. Okay. So that's the basic setup we did to set up a project. And if you want to connect an org, you might have a developer edition org with you, right? Or if you don't, you can just create it. You can just go to this default org setup and you can actually authorize an org. Okay, so when you authorize an org here, you can actually put login.salesforce, you can put a custom domain URL, and you can just proceed. I already have an org set up, so I'm just going to choose that for myself. Okay, so that's how you would actually set yourself up for success. Now, common problems while setting up. The first thing is going to be the CLI and the path. Right? So if you face any kind of errors, ideally you should not face any kind of errors, just start fresh and do not change any kind of configuration that the system is wanting to, install the CLI with. And there would come a step wherein you have to actually ensure that the path is also added. So ensure that you let the path be set up automatically. You don't have to even do that manually. Okay. The installation takes care of it. Second thing is authorizing an org. So I just showed you, you can just go ahead and say authorize an org, and you can simply say, let's say login.salesforce, and here I'll just put Apex use cases, and then I'm going to say authorize. So what that will do is that will open up the login window, and you can put your credentials here, and you can just go ahead and say login. All right. Once you say login, that will automatically complete the authorization, and you will have the Apex use cases, or basically, your folder name showing up here, and that would basically point to the org that you're currently working in, which means the VS Code and the org is now connected and you can use it. All right. One more way of actually checking if the org is successfully connected is you can just go into this left panel. This is where all the options are available for you. Here you see this org browser option available. If you click here, you will see that it should load the org metadata. So now if you see Apex use cases is the name of the org and it has loaded the entire org for me. If I were to click on Apex classes, I should see all the Apex classes. See, these are all the Apex classes we did as part of the Apex curriculum. So I have this here. All right. So this org browser, if it is opening up fine, meaning your authorization has been successful. In case it does not show up, what you can do is you can reauthorize it by clicking on the authorize button and do this step again. Okay, just do it again and then close your VS Code and reopen it. Okay, that should work. All right. The other thing is retrieving and deploying code to and from VS Code. So you might face issues here, but what you can simply do is you can go to a specific file. Let's say, okay, I'll show this to you later because I don't have any files in the folder yet because we have not done anything yet, but you will be able to retrieve and deploy code simply by doing a right click. So if I were to, let me give you a very small hint. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and download this file, all my variables. Once I download it, it is retrieving the data from the org to my source. Right, it is coming from the org to my source. So when it is going to be successful, you see it is successful, I can go to my file explorer, go to classes, and I'll see my class showing up here. Okay, this is my class. Now what I can do is I can simply say right click and I can say retrieve, or I can say deploy. These are the two options I'm talking about. Okay, in case your retrieval or deployment fails, you might want to update your Salesforce CLI. Okay, so you can open the terminal again and you can simply say sfdx update. Okay, so it is going to prompt you whether an update is required or not, and if it is required, it is going to update it, and if it is not required, it is just simply going to say that you are on a latest version. See, for me it is saying you are already on 2.82 version, which is the latest version, so you are good. Okay, but if it updates for you, then it is going to, do the installation here, and it is going to say you that yeah, you're good now. What you can do next is you can again close the VS Code and reopen it, because sometimes it might not immediately reflect. So close the VS Code and again reopen it just to see if it is working fine. Okay, I talked about the org browser. This is a very powerful tool that you should know. If you want to download anything from the org, see, anything from the org, everything is here. Your entire org metadata here is here. Profiles, yes. Static resources, yes. Sharing rules, yes. Roles, yes. Reports, yes. Email templates, yes. Any and everything that you have on the org, pick list value sets, flows, record pages, Apex classes, triggers, experience sites, everything is here. You just have to open it. You have to just see which one do you want to download or retrieve. Just click on the cloud icon and it will retrieve it for you. And then you can start working on it. Make sense? All right. You can even retrieve the entire folder. Okay. You can retrieve each folders, right? Normally what we do is we actually go to package.xml, right? In the manifest, we put all the components and then we say retrieve source in manifest. So that installs the entire org, entire project, right? Whatever we have mentioned. But if you want to do something specific, then you can always come here. Like I just want to download one assignment rule. I just want to download one Aura component. I just want to download one pick list value set. You always come here and you can do that download. Just have to find it in this folder space. All right. So that's the power of org browser. This contains the entire metadata of your org. All right. And one good guideline is actually, see, today we are starting our Lightning Web Component Masterclass, right? It might take us 3 months. So in the duration of 3 months, you are writing LWC code, you are actually creating a lot of components, you are working, but you are never looking at whether or not I need to update my Salesforce CLI or not, right? Because Salesforce CLI might get updated, and when it is updated, it might start behaving weird if you are on an older version, because things might not work as smoothly as they were supposed to. Okay, so you always tend to be on the latest version. That's a good practice to do. Okay, so if I go back here, I say clear, I simply say sfdx, it will tell me that I am on this particular version. Okay, you can check yours, which version are you in. If it is a lower version, you can just say sfdx update. All right, and now Salesforce has come with the Salesforce CLI, which is SF. So all the commands are basically SF space. So you don't have to, do sfdx, which we used to do earlier. Okay, you can even do SF update, you can even do that, but you should only do it if and when a release is available and you are backdated, your VS Code is backdated. Okay, so always ensure that you're in the latest version of everything that you're working on so that things are smooth. All right, and the final point, any kind of issues that happen above, a very simple solution is actually closing and reopening the application, because VS Code is a very heavy application, and whatever you do, like SFDX update or path update, might not immediately reflect in this version. You might have to close it and then you might have to reopen it. Okay, so once you reopen it, it is going to probably feel a bit better. So if I go to documents, SF repos, I can go to Apex use cases, this is fine, and I'll just go ahead and sync my org. Okay, default org is set. I can now look at the org browser, it is loading fine. If I do a refresh, is it still loading fine? Yeah, still loading fine. And do I have all the classes? Yeah, everything is available here, and I can actually open the org from this link here. This will open my Salesforce org. All right, so these are some common problems that most of the people face, but the solutions are pretty straightforward. Sometimes it is just the path, sometimes it is just the CLI version, sometimes it is just about closing and reopening your window, sometimes it is about updating your CLI. All right, so if still you face any kind of VS Code setup issue, put a comment and tell me. And if you are good with the entire setup and you are able to see everything in your machine also, just put a comment that yeah, I am ready to go. Okay, just put ready to go so that I know your setup is also ready, you are ready to write LWC code. All right, great. I will talk to you in the next one. Bye.